So a year ago, I had just turned 39 and I had an impossible dream to run a marathon and to start a YouTube channel. I don't have any time goals. I just want to compete. Not even compete, I just want to do a marathon and just tell myself I did a marathon. If I end up enjoying it, great. I will continue to run forever. If I absolutely hated my life the next year because I was running so much, great. I ran a marathon and I called it a goal completed. And a year later, here we are. I've just completed my first marathon and my first year on YouTube. Let's get into how my marathon went, the highs and the lows, and what I experienced right now. All right, so the marathon was a very small sized one in the city of Camarillo, California, about an hour and a half from where I live in LA. My family and I drove on Saturday and grabbed some food and relaxed at the hotel. We also got to the hotel the day before and I immediately started to carb load and do my hydration routines. We got some dinner at a local Italian restaurant that had some pretty good pasta and appetizers. Got back to the hotel and prepped for the next day. Got all my gear in order and laid it out so I'm not scrambling the next morning. And honestly, at this point, I felt a little nervous. I just didn't feel mentally and physically ready for this race. I'm not sure quite what it was. I have run previous races in the past, my 5, 10, and my half marathon. And I never got this feeling, but I don't know, there's just something quiet kind of there. And honestly, it is a little bit of foreshadowing if you stay for the rest of the video. But nonetheless, I try to get some sleep that night, and I generally don't get sleep very well at a hotel, let alone the night before a race. So I probably got about 4 to 5 hours. So next morning, we got ready, ate some carbs, and headed out early because I still had to pick up my bib. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is a very small race, maybe with about 200 to 300 total racers between the 5K, 10K, and the half, and the full marathon. All right, so let's get into the course layout. You run along a bike path that is connected to the park, and that is 4 loops total for the marathon. They have water station along the way, but you kind of have to carry your own water cup or bottle since it is a cupless event. Luckily, I have my new running vest, so I didn't have to worry about the water cup. The weather was around 65 degrees Fahrenheit and some fog when we started around 7 a.m., but quickly heated up the next couple of hours. And so the race set off, and I was already in last place. And I said, you know what, never mind, just keep running your own race, keep running your own mile, go at the pace that you want to go at. And I kept telling myself that. Eventually, I did pass up quite a few people because obviously some people run out a little too fast, go a little too hard, and they kind of settle in later on. I kept my pace around 11:30, per mile, and it was pretty good. Honestly, I felt pretty good most of the way until I hit mile 9. That is where I got this striking pain on my left foot. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure. I didn't feel like I tripped over anything. I don't know if it was a road I was running on because the way the bike path was laid out, it's one of those ones where it's like kind of curves like this. And so you run along the one side or the other side, right? And I'm not sure because I'm running such a slower pace, my left foot is always kind of dragging like this. And maybe that's why there was some pain. I don't know if it's the shoes I ran in. I ran in the Elite 4s, New Balance Elite 4s. And honestly, I don't think they were the shoes because I've run in the shoes quite a lot and they were perfectly fine. And I've never had any kind of pain with those. I've even ran 20 miles in those and never had any pain. So I'm just not sure what it was, but I had this tremendous pain. And there's also something else happening. I hit my wall very, very early. And as I said, it was mile 9. I know I probably could have pushed through that pain that was having me in my left foot, but I mentally told myself, I can't go on this race. This is too painful. I can't go at the pace that I want for this race because of my pain. And I think that was not the pain talking, not the injury talking. It was the wall that I had hit. I just could not keep the pace. And I think it was, I could blame the pain. I can probably blame the injury, but it wasn't that. Honestly, I felt like I was never properly prepared for this race as far as how I feel physically. Over the last few weeks, and I mentioned in my other video as well, I had gotten sick and I had just not been very consistent with my training plan. So I'm not sure if all of that kind of caught up to me on the day of. So I just did not feel that I could maintain the pace that I wanted. And I never quite got back to the 11:30 pace I was looking for. I kind of crept up a little bit, then I went to 11:45 a mile, then it went to around, 12 minutes per mile and just kept on further going back. to the point where about halfway through, when we hit the halfway marker at 13.1 miles, I honestly thought about giving up. 20 miles into marathon. About 6 hours in, estimated now. And I'll be lucky if I just finish even for the close race. Halfway through this marathon, it's completely lost it. No energy whatsoever. But to myself, I'll finish. So that's what I'm gonna do. Probably just walk the whole thing, but I will finish. Get it done. And you know, my goal for this was always to just finish. This whole journey that I set out to do, and I even said in my first video I ever made on this channel, that is, I just want to finish the marathon. I don't care about what timing I get. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to finish. But for some reason, I was very disappointed in how I was going to finish. It was not going to be in my own terms as far as me wanting to run the whole thing. So that's why at 13.1, I honestly thought to call my wife and my daughter and just tell them, I'm not going to finish this thing. I'm going to just cancel it or DNF and walk out, and we'll try again some other time. And honestly, I was very, very close to it. And I just said, you know what are we doing here? I'm here to finish this race, and I will do that. If that means if I have to walk the rest of the way, I will walk it. So I call my wife and I tell her, I'm gonna finish this race, but I'm gonna walk the rest of it. So what I had anticipated of having a sub 5 hour goal, it might be a lot longer now. And as always, as a supportive person she is, she said, don't worry about it. Just finish your race. This is what we're here for. We wanna see you finish the race, finish the marathon. We'll be there no matter what time you finish. And that gave me all the confidence I needed. And that made me feel much better about my overall race, because honestly, I was pretty down on myself as far as how the race was going out. I was hobbling everywhere. I was visibly very, very much in pain, to a point where I actually had a couple of runners stop and ask me, are you okay? Do you need to stop? Do you need some? And I said, no, I'm fine. I'll walk this through, but I'm gonna walk this entire thing. That's what I did. You know, pretty much after the halfway marker, I walked most of my miles. I tried running halfway through, averaged about a 13-minute mile, but couldn't do it. It was too painful for me. So I walked, and I finished the race. Crossing the finish line, I had mixed emotions. You know, I didn't quite finish how I wanted to, obviously, but seeing my wife and my daughter at the finish line was the biggest blessing and the biggest encouragement I ever could feel. I set out this crazy journey to finish a marathon, and I had done it. And I'm actually very, very proud of myself for doing so. It is an accomplishment that I honestly did not think I would ever be able to do. I was never a track athlete. I had never taken on running in PE class in high school. In fact, when we had PE class where we had to run 2 miles every single Friday, I would cut halfway through just because I was the slowest person there. And I would probably be there a lot longer than other people. So I would just cut halfway through and I would still finish the same time as others. And so I was never a runner. And here I am, 1 year into this journey, I'm running and finishing a marathon. And so I was very, very proud of the fact that I have done it. And I hope if you are a new runner like myself and you have goals of not running a marathon, but just in general running and finishing, accomplishing your goal, whether it's a 5K, 10K, half, whatever it is, you can do it and be proud that you crossed that finish line. I would have been more upset with myself if I had DNF'd. I would have been even more sad if I actually did stop halfway through. You know, injury aside, I still was able to walk it through in my own terms and finish as I wanted to. That's the goal that I had set, and that's what I'm proud of. And so that's my marathon journey. I finished at around 6 hours and 12 minutes, average pace of 14 something, I think it was. They don't have the official bib time yet. For some reason, the website has not updated it yet. But here we are. I'm still very, very proud of the fact that I got done with this marathon, and I am looking forward to my next one. I'm calling it my redemption marathon. I will be going a lot more into that later on. I actually will have a channel update for you guys for what I'm doing next, what I plan to do with this channel. Of course, it's going to be all around running still. I very much have found a hobby, a sports hobby specifically, that I am very passionate about, and I truly enjoy running. So I have a lot of news coming up for that, and that'll be for the next video. I'll go over all those stuff in detail for you guys. Currently, I'm still rehabbing my leg. It's been about 2 weeks out, almost about 2 weeks out since the marathon, and I still have a little bit of pain on the left foot. I've tried running a little bit, still kind of a little there. So, and it's still semi-swollen. So if it doesn't get better within next week, I may actually consider going to the doctor's office to see if they get some x-rays done. But it's gotten better. I don't feel as much pain. I'm not hobbling around as much, but I would have hoped that the pain would have gone away by now, but it's still kind of there. And so I'm just kind of rehabbing it, taking my time, recovering before I get fully back on track for my next marathon. So I will keep you guys updated with that for my journey as well. And the last thing is, thank you so much. Each and every single one of you since I started this channel have been super motivating and super encouraging of my journey. I have never been a part of a community that is so embracing of new beginner runners like the running community that I've experienced. So thank you guys so much again. Please continue to put down your comments, and also please continue to update me on your running journey, because that motivates me a lot. You guys have no idea. I look at all of you, those who follow me on Strava. I follow your journeys. Those who comment on my YouTube channel, I follow your journey very deeply. A lot of you guys are saying you guys are going to be doing your half marathons soon, your full marathons, all that kind of stuff. Especially the ones that are saying, hey, I'm a runner just like you. I actually have similar goals. That keeps me motivated. So thank you guys so much for all of the motivation and encouragement through the last year. I hope we can continue to encourage each other in this channel and continue to build it, because you guys helped me reach my goal of finishing a marathon within 1 year. And I hope we can continue to do that for others as well. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.